Good evening, noble viewers, and welcome once again to Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry. My name's Ian Horner, and joining me today is...
Cameron.
Yeah, and we'll be taking you through the world of not really do-it-yourself, but sort of a let's-try type of attitude. Although I think we're working in realms that we are relatively familiar with.
I hope so.
Yeah. So you today are going to be going back to the brush and painting. What are you painting today?
Well, I see last week we bought Warhammer's Quest Silver Tower.
We got it.
Yeah, so I'm going to be starting in tonight on one of 3 miniatures. I haven't quite decided which, but maybe we could get Paul to throw up a quick straw poll.
Okay.
So we have the Dark Oath Champion, who is like a chaos barbarian that has come to the Silver Tower in order to seek glory. You've got the Knight Quester, who is like a space marine slash angel of Sigmar. And then you've got the
fantasy space marine?
Yeah, basically. They wanted a space marine analog, I think.
So it's Dark Oath Champion?
Dark Oath Champion, Knight Quester, and Excelsior War Priest. All very 40k names. Anyway, I'm sorry, I totally stepped on your
that's all right.
your intro.
This is exactly what I've got you here to do, is to paint and explain what you're doing, because I actually don't know what you're doing, so that's good. I also saw a question I'm interested in already. What's the medium of this? Is this resin? Is this...
Oh, no, it's plastic.
It's just straight...
Games Workshop over the last 10 years has moved away from white metal, away from pewter. They moved into resin for some figures for a little while, I believe, but has moved almost exclusively, I think, into injection molded plastic because they decided to put money hard into infrastructure. And each of these molds is like $100,000, the stainless steel molds.
Right, yes.
So, yeah.
Sorry, it's Dark Oath Champion, Excelsior Champion.
Excelsior War Priest and Knight Quester.
Knight Quester, okay.
Wow. Double names.
Yep.
And you've gone ahead and primed these beforehand.
Yes. I primed them with Tamiya just white primer, so that the colors are nice and bright.
Nice. We try not to do too much pre-prep on the show, but I mean, spraying things and then waiting for them to dry
is miserable.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, like I wash the sprues with warm water and soap to get rid of the mold release agent, and then prime them. And primer gives a nice, even, predictable color that is slightly porous onto which you can apply your paint. So I prefer white base coats for these particular miniatures because it makes the colors like pop.
Okay. Now here's a question, before I get into anything else, here's a question for you that I'm going to have. I've got some vinyl models that I need to apply paint to. Is that similar type of primer going to work for that?
It should. Primer is not just paint, it is also a binding agent that gets into the material of the figure.
Okay.
And provides like an interface so that it should not just flake out.
So wash it down and prime it up.
Yep.
Okay, so that means sometime in the future you're going to get to see me deal with Snow Fairy sugar. In the meantime, today I'm going to be, I told everyone that I was going to be working on taking my laptop and placing into it an SSD. And to do that, I wasn't just going to forego my larger hard drive inside the laptop, because this is only a 240 because I am poor. So for that, I was going to need some form of interface of removing the CD-ROM drive. And that means that I was going to need an interface which I thought I had, and then realized I didn't, because the interface is currently in my iMac. So today we're going to be taking apart the iMac, extracting the drive holder, putting the CD-ROM drive back into the iMac, then opening up the laptop, and then...
Correction.
Yes.
2 perfectly good computers.
Ruined. But this is probably my 4th time getting into this iMac, so it's kind of old hat for me at this point. But we'll see if I don't screw anything up.
Okay, awesome.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So I'll be walking people through that while you get to work on those figures.
Okay, so I think we should probably start getting wrapped up on the straw poll right now. If you haven't voted, please head in the next minute or so. And then we can get started.
Yeah.
So Excelsior War Priest has a decent lead.
Good.
All right.
For the iMac, the first thing you're going to want to do is actually remove the glass, which thankfully I have one of the older 27-inch iMacs, and that means just using something soft, like a credit card or an ID card, to pry it from its hinges because it's attached via magnets.
Really?
Yes. Unlike Graham's iMac, which is a later model, which is much less friendly to hacking, that requires a heat treatment.
Heat gun too.
Or just usually, they'll use the sort of thing you use for massages.
Oh, okay.
Where you just throw it in the microwave and it's like full of beans or whatnot.
Right.
You put it over top. But this just, you get your card in there, preferably when you don't want to mess up. Maybe I should use a slightly less valuable card than my services card.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if it is magnetic.
Oh yeah, this is garbage. Manulife Healthcare. Not a sponsor. Then you just work your way under one of the corners. Actually,
you don't need your healthcare card.
let me do this from the other side here so people can see. Run it along there like that. Literally ruin your card. You can find a opening. Oof. Maybe start up here. Aha, there we go. Popped it open. And it just lifts right off.
Wow.
It's attached at the bottom by some things, but that's just a sheet of glass that is now disconnected from the computer. Now, the unfortunate thing is that means that the LCD screen is now exposed,
Okay.
which means it's going to get covered in dust, and I don't have any canned air with me. But what are you going to do? I can spray it off when I get home. All right. Now we need to use a Torx screwdriver to get in there. Which Torx, I don't exactly remember, so we're going to eyeball it. The nice thing about Torx is that it's unlike a Phillips head. If you don't have the right one, it's just not going to work, rather than it'll kind of work and ruin the screws.
All right, the Excelsior War Priest is looking pretty good.
Okay, well, I guess we're on Excelsior War Priest then.
It's at 41% as opposed to 30% for the Night Quester, which is the most recent.
Well, could we get the arm cam here?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to...
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry, Chad. I probably just sneezed directly into your sense of self.
It also vibrated the whole table. It's quite cool.
Oh, that was... Oh, if you've... Cameron.exe has encountered an error and is rebooting.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the Excelsior War Priest, as you can see right here, is a very nice looking figure. There's a lot of like lightning bolt iconography on his robes. He's got a very cool warhammer with the twin-tailed comet like motif on it all. And he also comes with a Griff Warhound, who is like a basically like a Sigmarite familiar, I think. And then he's also got, you know, a holy book, and he's got a lot of cool swag going on. These are very like sweet miniatures. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our side cutters to take the pieces off the sprue so we can assemble it, and that way we can get a sense for the three-dimensionality of the figure, and we can begin assessing how we're going to paint it in such a way that it has like consistent lighting and all the kind of goodness associated with that. And I realize now that I've forgotten to get something.
Oh, what have you forgotten?
Heather, could I ask you to go and fill a plastic cup from the kitchen with warm water?
Right.
Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, I've discovered which Torx it is. It is the Torx 10-bit that I need for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 screws around the edge that I need to remove. And I have magnetized my screwdriver. Yes, I'm magnetizing my screwdriver. Deal with it. With my handy-dandy dollar store magnetizer from the Daiso in Japan. Magic magnetizer. The reason I feel safe doing that is there's a whole ton of magnets on this thing. So if there was any damage to be done by magnets, it's already been done. I'm curious, though. This doesn't feel like the... oop, there we go. This doesn't feel the same as when I've done it before, so I think I might have used a different bit holder, but that's okay. With these Torx screws, you don't really need to apply much pressure to them. Just have to get them seated and turn. Unfortunately, again, because of these magnets around the edge, the screws like to jump out and against the magnets once I pull them out.
Yeah, Cam, you can move that around.
Yeah. I was just going to get myself nice and comfortable here because I kind of, I find myself thinking a lot about my posture as I'm doing this so that I can hold the miniature in kind of like a useful place for the camera and the audience to get a look at it. And I think that might be good.
I'm hoping you can, to swing it back and forth, there's a little screw down at the
Oh,
base
okay, yeah. So I don't need to.
that might help relax it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I think I've overcounted the number of screws I need to undo.
Is this going to be like the pictures you see of people reassembling their computers where they have the egg carton and they finish the build and there are 3 screws left in it?
No, thankfully not.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at my screw management.
All right.
But I remember the first time I did do this, I forgot to plug in one of the cables.
Oh, so you had to take it all apart again?
Well, that was after 20 minutes of utterly panicking that I've ruined this
Yeah.
gigantic monitor.
Thank you so much, Heather.
Hodor still best assistant.
Hodor, best door. How's the focus there, Paul?
That's pretty good.
Okay. So what we're doing right now is we've removed the cloak from the sprue. And we're just taking some very fine grit sandpaper. And we're removing the burr from the sprue.
Sir.
Nerd. And then we're also getting rid of the mold lines. Now this is taking away a bit of primer, and that's okay. We'll live, as long as we're judicious about it. I chose to prime on the sprue because these miniatures I've read, Games Workshop has really moved towards a almost an over-sculpting of their miniatures recently, and I was concerned that if I didn't prime them on the sprue, you would wind up with a lot of nooks and crannies that were basically impossible to get at. And as you can see, there's a large gap between the cloak and the body, where if we waited to assemble, then we would not be able to get any kind of paint in there at all. So I think I might actually wait on assembling some of these elements. And that's why we test fit.
Speaking of test fitting, here comes the hard part, which is lifting up the monitor and then disconnecting one of the cables, one of the very delicate cables. When I open up my iMac, I don't like to completely remove the monitor. I feel it takes too long and introduces too many possibilities of danger. So I'm going to end up prying.
If there's one thing we don't want to do here on Tinker Tailor is have too many possibilities for danger.
Yeah. So there we go. You lift it up. And if you can see, oh my God, this is hideous in here.
I was expecting it to just be like, clockwork precision, Swiss in its care. You know, you would open it up and Le Corbusier would look at it and go, oui.
Not mon Dieu. No, this is literally just take a flathead screwdriver, jam it in the corner, and lift up. But Heather, if you can get in here at all, this is the tiny ribbon cable that I am so much in hate with. It's probably too dark to get in there. It's tiny and it's unpleasant. Yeah, you got it there. So I need to pull that out with just 2 fingers and not break it. That's the one I got plugged in backwards last time.
Ooh.
Or a couple times ago. And made me sad. Come on, don't break. Okay, so contacts down. Remember that. And then the rest of it lifts up a little bit easier. There's a few more pieces here. I could disconnect this. Maybe I will. Just to get it out there. Okay, good. So that's most of it. Now I'm going to be working one-handed for the rest of this game.
Heyo.
I'm now imagining like you know, one of those little rods like you have in the hood of a car, like just kind of lifts up.
Yeah.
Locks it in place.
That would be handy.
Yeah.
Actually, I could probably makeshift one of those. Yep, that works mostly, although that does provide flex on the monitor, which I don't like. Okay.
One on either end.
That could also work, but I'm going to need my screwdrivers. Wait, no, I do have 2 screwdrivers of equal size.
It doesn't have to be a screwdriver, but it's okay.
It doesn't have to be a screwdriver.
Do you want it? Okay, so this can't possibly go bad. So we're going to swap back to my small bit driver then, because I can get that in there. Now I can work two-handed. This is a new and exciting experience. So let's go over the inside of the iMac, shall we? This is the where the CD drive goes. And I removed it a while back because I had done I had put a SSD in there and decided to take it out because I was building my Hackintosh and turning this thing into a server. But I neglected to remove the caddy as well, which was dumb of me. But I did have a Fusion drive that I'd put together in this a while back, and it served itself well, and now we're here. This is the actual hard drive, and it's also a replacement, I think. I think I've only got a 500 gig in here right now. Again, just it's running as a server to run my Drobo. So this is the single screw over here that holds the CD caddy in. And we're going to take that out now.
That single screw just holds you undo that screw and the entire thing collapses.
Yeah, well, it's all spring-loaded, so it just pops right out.
Yeah.
No,
The volcano erupts.
I do like gesturing to an empty space and so this is where the CD is.
And I am incorrect, actually. That is not a single point of contact, I believe. Oh, yeah, I think I have to peel back foil, too, which is always fun to do. Or do I do that later? I can't remember. Again, we're doing this from memory, which I think is fun. I do know that I have to take this off, which is the heat sensor. One might call it a thermometer.
That was the self-destruct screw somebody in the chat says.
That screw held the magic smoke in.
Oh no, we don't want to deal with the magic smoke. Okay.
So that's the temperature sensor?
Yep. And we'll need to attach that with hopefully the same adhesive to the old CD drive once we get that in there. So I was hoping to be able to do this without referring to the manual, but it looks like I might have to open up iFixit later. We'll probably definitely have to open up iFixit for the laptop stuff. Okay, that almost lifts out now, which means there's one more. Oh, it's all the way back there. Damn it. So there are three. There are three. Uh-oh. Just like what you do with a car. There are four. There are 4 screws.
New screws are actually being added as you go.
Yeah.
We are going full Picard on this. Oh, wow, this is hideous in here. I should really sell this to someone as soon as possible.
Ideally, somebody who hasn't seen this
Yes.
stream. Or maybe somebody who has an official tinkered iMac.
Yeah. Okay, so you can now get it out. But wait, it's attached by something. It's the SATA cable. It's very tiny. Let's pop it off. There we go, done. Okay, that's out. Let's put this back down. There we go. You know, this isn't working out as well as I thought it would. This is really just actually quite dangerous,
Could I
think.
draw the chat's attention to something in the instruction folder here? Mm-hmm. Okay, I want you to look at step 1 here. Look at that. Okay, so what you do is you take the cloak and you attach it to the man, right? Only to the right of that, because we read left to right as English speakers, there is an intermediate step that has to happen before you do that other step, where you attach his ass to him. And then, once his ass is glued on, then you attach his cloak. Who formatted this instruction manual?
Games Workshop, they're European, you know.
Yeah.
Europeans read the other way around.
Yeah. Like, I expect to see, like, the fully completed miniature and then be like, now, once you've done that, you have to take everything apart.
All right. So I'm going to go back to kneeling in front here. I should really just clean off a chair and use that.
Would one of the rolling chairs do better? Or?
No, this is fine.
Yeah,
I'm not interesting to look at, but what I'm doing is, here are my hands.
people in chat are saying that Europeans read center out, but the British, I would hasten to point out.
Also, yeah, I guess Games Workshop no longer European.
Yeah, no.
Oof. Oof.
What'd you guys do that for?
Too soon or too late, depending on which time zone.
Well, I saw William Gibson tweeting
Eat
just
an
out to his
entire burrito once.
out to his audience. He was like, "This is the biggest unforced British error, wholly British error since when?"
Agincourt?
No. That they won that.
Oh.
But it was the battle of the one where they lost England to the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, right, that one. Agincourt. Okay, so this is a flimsy plastic thing. Oh, wait, do I even need to... No, I don't. Why am I even doing this? That doesn't need to come out. Oh, wait, it does. Yes, it does. This flimsy plastic bit does need to come out. Figuring it out as we go along. It's an important part of our procedure.
The Battle of Hastings.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Hastings.
No?
It was before that. Battle of starts with an M.
Chat's gonna get there.
Yeah, starts with an M. I forget it now. Like all my anecdotes, I'm like, okay, so it's really funny, it's really interesting. I've forgotten most of it, but you get the point.
Here's the required reading.
Chat suggests the Battle of Hastings.
There
Sure,
you go.
We'll go with that until more information is provided.
Malden, Battle of Malden. Thank you very
Oh.
much, Tacitus Vigil.
Maldin or Maldon? One of my favorite salts comes from one of those places.
Oh, okay.
A naturally harvested sea salt.
Oh.
So you're putting the old CD drive back in there now?
Yes, we're reattaching a drive to this plastic caddy, which has tiny little screws. Just bare amount of thread on these rubber grommets. I guess to make it sound less like a jet airplane when it's spinning up. Now, it's an optical drive. This is technically the Apple Super Drive, which I think just means that it can read and write DVDs as well as CDs.
I'm pretty sure they've used the term super drive for about 4 different drives over the years.
Ah, yes, DVD-RW560H. DVD CD rewritable drive by Sony. So it's a good one.
What is that foil for, by the way?
That foil, I'm guessing just I'm guessing it's either for EM interference or just to keep dust out of the enclosure from getting into the iMac and just, pooling inside the drive itself. Seems like not such a great idea. But we got it in there, so we're just about done with the iMac. So let's lift her back up. Oh, that screen is not light. And then, working one-handedly because I think it's easier this way, we'll reattach the SATA power and data gleefully on one cable. Get that in there. It feels like it's where it's supposed to be. Start reattaching screws. It helps to pretend that you're ambidextrous. Oh, wow, yeah. I forgot about that. So there's a super hacky hack job in here that you may not be able to see. I wonder if it might even be worth having Heather disconnect. But give me 1 second to screw in this screw.
How many screws are there to screw in?
4 on the drive.
Okay.
So see this little bit of yellow wire here? Yeah, I can pull that out. It's just kind of shorting out this. This is where the temperature sensor usually is for the hard drive. If you don't do this, then this particular model of iMac, when you turn it on, turns its fans on full forever, which makes for a rather unpleasant time. And not having a jumper, I worked with what I had, which was a tiny bit of yellow wire, so it's just sitting there shorting out that.
Is that because when you replaced the hard drive, you had to remove the temperature sensor?
Well, it's not just that I had to remove the temperature sensor, it's that I could plug it into the back of that hard drive, but the iMac looks for a specific firmware on the drive so that it can read the temperature in a way that the OS expects. And so rather than, make a hack to my operating system that I need to make every time that we upgrade the OS, I just figured I'd go hardware-wise.
Would you like me to hold the screen?
No, I am good. Thank you, Heather. This is not my first... I don't know, is this a rodeo?
I grew up in Grand Prairie. This doesn't look like a rodeo.
This is not a rodeo. Can confirm.
Yeah, I know from my tech support experience, the fact that the typical thing with iMacs where if they sense that there is something wrong, like for instance if they crash, their default maneuver is all the fans go onto full.
Yeah.
Because it loses contact with its temperature sensors, which is a good idea,
It is a default setting. It's probably very safe for the hardware.
Yeah. However, if you're an inexperienced computer user and you're sitting there and your computer crashes
And then goes,
and then suddenly is making way more noise than you've ever heard it make before,
Yeah.
it is a little concerning.
yeah, I could see that being alarming.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate the innards of an iMac. Aren't they pretty? Okay, that's over.
Pretty little guts.
Yep. Reattach the temperature sensor because
So that one does actually work, eh?
yeah, that one still works because it's just a temperature sensor that literally sticks to the thing that we're putting in there. And put the foam back on top of it. I may only ever actually open this iMac up once more in its lifetime, and that will be when I eventually do decide to sell it, if I decide to sell it.
If your CD drive is running hot enough to trip a temperature sensor, you have a serious problem.
Yes.
I feel like CD drives are not usually the thing that are in danger of
your
overheating.
CD drive may actually be on fire. Do not burn CDs
Yeah.
at that temperature. Oh, fiddly ribbon cables. You scare the Jesus out of me.
How's it going there, Cam?
Good, I think. I'm just cleaning up the Warhammer. We've got the Excelsior War Priest.
The titular Warhammer?
We have his ass glued on.
Nice.
And then we've got him gluing to the base. And for this, I'm using Tester's plastic cement, which is just like, ye old classic. It actually melts the plastic, so it's applied in very thin layers on both sides.
Right,
with
so you have to be a
brush.
little bit careful about it. That you're not
Yeah, I
gonna-
mean, you can tip it over, but you securely screw down the lid after each use. You develop reflexes, habits. Yeah, but you can see the forge lines are actually quite pronounced on the Warhammer. So we have a lot of cleaning to do here.
Does that
me try
Warhammer have a serial number? And if so, is it higher than 40,000?
This Warhammer costs me 40K.
I mean, when you think about it, a Warhammer may actually have forge lines.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's basically like an ingot of iron with a handle on one hand, and a handle on one hand, and a lot of brains on the other, right?
You're not talking about the guy holding the hammer.
Yeah.
Well, chat, we've done it. We have successfully brought back the... We've put it back. Everything seems to be sealed up, so now it's time to put the screws on. You saw that, Paul. This is the worst part. Ah, damn it.
This is
Did you drop a screw in?
No.
this is like the seated the court jester, when his armor gets magnetized.
So Cam, remember I was telling you about the magnets?
Yeah.
Heather, you might want to focus
Yeah,
up
go
on
ahead.
this corner here.
I got it. Yeah.
Watch what happens when I try to take this screw and put it into the hole.
That seems like a fine thing to happen around a computer.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to... Actually, because I've learned my lesson a couple times, let's remagnetize that. I'm going to do up a couple screws, just so I can stand this thing up and test that it powers on. Because I would rather not have to screw and unscrew all these again and again.
So your plan is to magnetize your screwdriver more than the magnets on the screen, so that it sticks.
Doesn't work. I remembered the hack, or not the hack, but the trick that I have to do, which is guide the screw in past the magnets with my finger. All right, in you go. Past the field lines. Eat it, Feynman. Okay. That feels good. Okay, let's prop it up, and let's see how badly I've screwed this up. As in the distance a foghorn blows.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Okay,
Unbidden sad trombone noise comes from nowhere.
here we go.
That's enough out of you.
Is it plugged in?
Make post.
Thank God, and the screen goes on. Okay, you're dead.
Wait, you're dead?
No, I killed it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't need to boot up all the way. Just
Yeah,
needs to
yeah.
post.
We might have some compressed air in the equipment room or the storage room or something.
I'll go check then. Thank you, Paul. So that would save me having to get that. Actually, I'll do that after I get the rest of these screws in. Thank you, Heather. This part is just me putting them back, and that's less interesting.
Too many magnets.
I'm a professional. Which is actually a lie. I never actually did get my Apple product. Well, I got my Apple Product Professional certification, but that was just for selling Macs. I never actually did get certification for repairing them, which I kind of regret, but I also don't know if I ever could have got a job doing that. It was something I thought about when moving here. It was maybe opening up my own Apple repair business.
Well, it's a university town.
Yep.
There will be always a reliable source of $3,000 MacBook Pros with coffee spilled on them.
That's not an easy fix, usually. I once spilled a martini on my MacBook.
Ooh.
Back when they were called PowerBooks. It survived.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it also died later that year when there was flooding above my apartment.
No.
So,
It made it so far.
yeah, it only needed to last long enough. Thank you, insurance money.
It's like one of those butterfly effect stories where it's like it was saved from one death and then just went through a series of hideous accidents until they finally got it.
No luck, Heather?
The only compressed air thing I could find was dry shampoo, which
Which is...
The opposite of, yeah.
It's gonna cause more issues. Yeah.
But yeah.
We did have a bunch of it at one point, but maybe we used it all up or got squirreled
there
away
is one other
somewhere.
place I could check.
So the reason I'm doing all this is that while I was thinking of selling this, at this point I don't think I could get enough for it to actually cover the cost of making my own little Hackintosh server. But this giant monitor on this thing, what do I do with it?
I know. That's why I stopped buying iMacs. I do like them, but I got tired of throwing away beautiful monitors.
This is thankfully one of the computers that can be used as a DisplayPort monitor,
Oh, nice.
but you need to have the computer running. So
How are we looking?
Not bad. I've got his hammer on, and I'm just trying to find the correct angle for it so that it looks, I was going to say natural, but we both know that that's a filthy lie. Looks plausible, I guess.
Yeah, this is actually in process pose. Like he went like,
Yeah. Like, this thing is heavy. Why am I doing this?
yeah, that is not the kind of hammer that you want to be holding above your head.
Yeah.
That's like that, because I mean that's bigger than a sledgehammer.
Yeah. I mean, is this basically, what was her name in Ranma? Shampoo?
oh yes, one of the big yapapa.
Yeah, this is basically one of the weapons that you just like hoist up and then try to drop on the other man's head, right?
Yeah, it's a shame. Like when you see like the actual historical weaponry, hammers are always
Like-
the most disappointing.
Yeah, like a flanged mace.
they actually
You know,
look. They actually look like hammers.
Yeah,
Like-
well, and like a mace is actually quite small,
yeah,
right?
which makes sense. But
Yeah.
it's still disappointing from a cool fantasy weapon point of view.
Yeah, well,
I just
I remember
wanted to
in...
ask if you'd all like to hear a very satisfying sound.
Ooh.
Followed by
She's done.
followed by a shattering noise.
Okay, so that's the part we've done before.
Grab Thar's hammers. Look at hammer. Look at the savings.
That was the easy part. Now comes the part I don't know what I'm doing. Step 1, make sure it's turned off. It is not turned off. Step 2,
That's why that's step one.
turn off the computer. I think the best part about that was that my watch literally just told me, okay, as I said that. We're going to need weirdly, we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver for this. A very small one at that. Oh. hopefully you're small enough.
The turning on sound.
It's very happy.
Yeah, it is. Why did you do that?
Turn it off.
I'm just going to force you off. There we go. It knows what's about to happen.
I don't want to go.
Not like this. Well, this is good, because I've had some problems with this MacBook. Oh, wow. That's smaller than I thought.
You need like eyeglass screws?
Yeah, I think I do. I don't know that I have that size. Hold on.
Check in the toolbox. I thought we actually had some mini screwdrivers.
Okay. I'm going to disconnect then here.
Yep. You're 3?
Yep.
Okay. I'm pretty sure, from a historical standpoint, the taking extremely large books into battle is sort of a uniquely Warhammer-y thing.
Yeah, I'm led to believe that they aren't terribly practical. As like, I assume you would generally want something like a shield.
Yeah. Then again,
your offhand.
considering the size of that book,
Yeah, maybe this does a decent job of like being in a blade of holy text.
yeah, he's a combination war priest and encyclopedia salesman.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
already I'm actually like, it's fun seeing these guys in photographs, but now that I'm actually seeing them in person, it's actually pretty impressive. I kind of dig on this. Like you look at pictures of these things, and some of them are like, okay, that's pretty cool, and some of them you look at and you're like, I have no idea what's actually going on here.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by the detail and the fitting of the model.
Yeah,
Like in past, they would have had like the cape would be just like flat attached to his back.
but here you can actually see that there's fur
Oh yeah, wow.
on the inside.
But yeah, like in the past, they would have had like on his shoulders, like the top part of the cape actually just molded to his shoulders.
Yeah.
And then the cape attaches flat to his back. But it's so much nicer to have it actually as two separate pieces.
I agree totally. So I'm also just going to get the War Griff off the, or the Griff Hound off the sprue, because presumably at some point I will be throwing the sprue on the ground.
Holy crap!
What?
It's a Griff Hound.
Yeah. It is
You said the word Griff Hound, and I was like, "What's that?" And then I saw it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what that is."
That would be a very precise description of what this thing is. It's a puppy. It's a puppy.
It's a puppy with an eagle head,
Yeah. So I guess.
but no wings. I guess.
Yeah.
Because he's a dog.
Yep. These things happen in Warhammer. Before I start applying any more pressure with the knife, I'm going to just clip that off.
That's tricky. He's got the sprues and also little spines. So
Yeah.
tell which is which.
Yeah, it's very. I'm not even sure they're spines, or if they're just like. If his tail is all like, if this is a tail or if this is. Is it like a lion's tail? It's got the tuft of fur at the end. I guess
yeah.
that would make sense. Which would make this a griff kitten, right? If it's got, the body of a lion and the head of an eagle, but no wings.
Right.
It's a griffin.
Right.
I am back.
Any luck?
So we don't have any eyeglass screwdrivers that I can find. We do have about 6 hammers.
All right, get working on it.
But thankfully, I do have my.
Luckily, suddenly every problem looks like a nail, so
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
works fit.
Well, I have my trust me Swiss Tech Utility, still banned by the FBI for flights.
I have taken that on the plane about 3 times because I forgot it was on my keychain. I have one of those too.
I think it will do the job. And if it doesn't, then we could be in for a problem.
We could always just take a break. I assume you have the screwdrivers at home.
I don't think that I do, actually. Not
Oh, no.
not of this type.
I used to
time is
have
it?
some. I think they must be with my actual modeling stuff.
I mean, to be honest, what I could end up doing is just going down to the local hardware store.
Castle's probably not open now.
Oh no.
On a Monday? Yeah.
I mean, I have them
Like-
at home, but
Yeah, that's a little far.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like it's 10-minute,
You know what?
15-minute round trip. I could hold down the fort while you guys go and do that.
I think I can do what I can do here anyway.
Yeah, because I can walk off this canvas for attack.
Oh, wait a second. Yes, you're tiny and sharp. Always use.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
You are tiny and sharp.
First time tuning in, is the point of this show to make me as stressed as possible?
Yes.
No, this is a relaxation show.
Yeah,
This is about chilling and doing some cool stuff.
yeah. Hold my paint water.
One of these should work.
I'm really surprised that nobody is running a Dark Souls stream called Hold My Estus.
Oh, there's a
Or Hold My Beer.
yeah. There's a niche there that you could get into.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hold on, I'm going to try something.
Just slightly too wide. But you might work.
Garrick Draft Winner asking about the Eldritch Moon pre-release. You can watch it on the Twitch archives, and it is actually uploading to YouTube as we speak. It'll be up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/loadingmidi-live. That is our YouTube replay channel. Ideally soon, although it is 8 hours or whatever, so it will take a little bit of time to process on YouTube.
I would like to draw chat's attention to something on the camera here. If you'll notice the mole, or where the griffin's head is split, there, it's right along the beak. When we join the halves, the seam is cleverly hidden in the beak line. I thought that was really great.
Ah, rather than going right down the middle.
Yeah. The things you can do when you have a CAD program for this kind of design. And you aren't like sculpting these on 3 apps.
Sounds from outside. Well, this is a problem.
Still don't, your screwdriver doesn't work?
Yeah, it's not quite sharp enough. I don't think I can sharpen it.
Here, one sec.
Yeah, please. This is what we call predicament.
All right.
That is
Yeah,
some-
someone in the chat asked how to get into Warhammer as a new player. Do you know?
I would go down to your local game store and watch a few games and get a sense for which army suits your play style. I like armies that are fast and maneuverable and can kind of dictate the flow of the game. There are armies that just absorb those kind of attacks. And oh man, I remember playing one game in 5th edition or in 4th edition where I was playing Dark Elves versus Dwarves, and I got off. My opponent had a block of Dwarven Iron Breakers, which are these veterans with very heavy armor, and he had his Dwarven Lord in the unit, and I managed to get a flank charge on it with Cold One Knights, a rear charge on it, like Cold One Knights are, Dark Elf heavy cavalry, a front charge with Witch Elves, which are like these, just they're drug-fueled blenders, basically, and a rear charge with light cavalry. And basically he had to roll snake eyes in order not to get wiped out. On like, I killed like something like 15 dwarven iron breakers in one round of combat, and he rolled snake eyes, and I lost the game because the next round he just murdered all of my elves and they all ran away. They all ran away. So like, if you're looking to get into the game, get familiar with the kind of strategies that you want to use and the kind of things that you want to assemble and paint, because playing the game is fun. You're going to spend most of your time here in this situation, painting and assembling figures. So yeah, be sure that you're working on an army that you like the look of and are comfortable painting for probably 100,
Ever?
200 hours. Yeah, that's just a continuing project. And so, I mean, like, that isn't a strike against the game at all. That's a large draw of it. You have to want to do the hobby part.
I have a question, actually, Ken.
Yeah?
Does that
Yes?
mean that do people play with unpainted figures until they can paint them?
Yes, very frequently, in fact.
I was
You will see that I think I have played very few games of Warhammer with completely painted painted armies. You play at tournaments. Generally, the organizers of the tournament will require that armies be fully painted, which is fun in of itself, because usually you spend the night before the tournament with all your friends up all night painting.
up all night to get high on paint fumes.
Well, you use acrylic paint, so there are no fumes.
What am I smelling then?
Pennies?
I think I've done it. I just need to sharpen this a bit more, but I think I've.
All right.
I think I can get in there.
Oh, the camera's shaking around quite a lot.
Sorry, Cam.
Oh, don't worry about it. I can entertain chat like this. So we've got the Griffhound. Do you want to get? Can you? Yeah. Oh no, don't worry about it then, Heather. The arm is shaking. It won't be visible.
Can change this one and then switch over to it.
So what I'm going to do then? Don't worry about it, unless.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to start small. One of the most intimidating mistakes that you can make as a new Warhammer player is going out and dropping $400 or $500 in a day on an army and coming home and having no idea where to start with it. Go and pick up a box of miniatures, assemble them, paint them, pick up another one. Don't let them pile up on you, because they'll never get finished. Oh, and I enjoy the modeling and painting. It's what I'm here for.
Oh, hey.
Ian's kind of found a solution.
Well, no.
Not really, but kind of.
I mean, those are...
Yeah, but there's the Phillips head is not the one I need there. I think I may have.
forming your own.
Well, trying to file out the tip. That looks goodish.
The, just using a very small
Usually, yeah.
one doesn't quite work to just do the cross in there.
It's a bit too wide. Although if I filed it down,
The solution to everything.
yes. They're also very tight screws, so.
Here we go.
Oh, you got one? Great.
Haha!
That's two. It's one of my favorite parts about Tinker Tailor is everyone gets involved.
Uh-oh. That one's the tight one. Darn it. It's going so well.
Yeah, some of these are just really tight.
So you can see here I'm using sandpaper to clear the primer off of the joint. Again, this is because the cement I'm using melts the plastic, and it will not be able to do that through the primer. So you can dump all the cement you want onto it, and it will not create a useful bonding surface unless you remove the paint. You'll wind up with very brittle and breakable miniatures, which makes everyone sad.
Everyone.
What kind of primer do you use, Cam?
I use Tamiya, just white miniature primer.
This one is the right size, but it's now...
Glue it back into the thing.
Yeah. Oh well.
And you just use a tiny little bit of cement
This is the one you were using?
because, as I said, it melts the miniature.
Thank you.
And that creates giant. If you use too much cement, it's like not thinning your paints. You wind up with giant blob miniatures. And you lose a lot of this lovely detail and sense
Probably
of
going.
separation. So there we go. More or less completely built.
That one screw.
Does not want to release.
So now I see more and more mold
goodness,
lines
those are
that
the same
require
t-
cleaning up.
So
It's okay.
we're discovering that the screws in the back end here are slightly longer, actually not slightly, a lot longer than the ones on the front.
And all of them we've successfully taken out except this one in the corner and the one in the other corner.
Yeah, we've got a couple more here. It could get worse.
It seems unlikely.
Oh no.
Presumably there's a perfect tool for this.
Yep.
Maybe a proprietary one.
Ooh.
I remember when I changed the backplate on my iPhone 4, I had to order special screwdrivers for their weird ass 6-pointed screws.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Maybe I just need a leverage.
More force. That's what needed.
Leverage?
Well, the beautiful thing about brute force is that if it doesn't work, you didn't use enough. It's like cash. If it doesn't solve all your problems, you didn't have enough of it.
I think that one's having the same problems now.
I do have that problem with that particular type of eyeglass screw that the actual end comes out of the thing.
Yeah, it just likes to get itself wrecked.
Yeah. iFixit does have full kits for those screws.
See if roughing it up helps.
Yeah, what is our tool breakage count now is what, 3?
Yep, at least. Yeah, that one's not going to survive. This one might be okay. If I file it down to a flat point again. Files are certainly getting a workout today.
Then Darwin 2008, the fries were in you all along.
The model kits, you build model planes.
Yeah. I'm just working on a little Airfix Hurricane one right now that I've been working on for a while and that I've been stopping and starting on. Terrified of really deciding whether I want to airbrush the camouflage, which involves a lot of masking, or whether I just want to brush it on, which is so much faster. And if I just settled on doing the airbrush, I would be done by now, but I'm still making up my mind. That's the beauty of it.
It's just that they're so... some of these are just in there so tight.
I don't feel so bad about last time I was on there.
What happened?
I had that trouble trying to get the shoe started.
Oh, right. Well, that was hardly noticeable.
I like because you're covering a large part of the screwdriver with your hand.
It's completely impossible to see.
I can just see somebody like an actual Apple tech like tuning into this and being like, "What is he using a wrench for on the back of a laptop?" This is concerning to me.
I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to even try out to be an Apple certified tech now.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, if you do want to do something like this, various companies like iFixit or OCW,
Yes.
Other World Computing, which is a company that sells the one of the things they do is they sell the like hard drive adapters and all that kind of stuff. They also have a little pack of the 3 or 4 specialty screwdrivers that you need for exactly this purpose. But we don't have those right now.
No, we neglected to.
So this is actually a fairly good advertisement for that service. This is why you might want to do that.
So I've just had to look at the box again to remind myself how Games Workshop imagines these guys being painted. And his robes are white with red trim. The leather is black, so his belt is black, his boots are black, gloves are black. All the lightning bolts are gold. Like his jewelry around his neck is gold. His coronet, I think, is gold.
Circlet?
Circlet? Yeah. The cloak is red. And I'm not sure what the scroll work is. I imagine some kind of papyrus color.
I like that his head is attached to his cloak.
Yeah. He does. Somebody said he looks like Shazam. I mean, he kind of does look like Shaq.
I think you're thinking of Kazam.
Kazam?
Yes, Shazam was Captain Marvel type thing.
Oh, yeah.
Kazam was the genie.
Right. I stand by my assertion that he looks vaguely like Shaq. You see miniatures that look like actors quite often. People use models. And considering this guy is the scrawniest member of the group, only being 4 feet wide. in the Great
Yeah.
Games Workshop tradition.
He's a big nerd.
Yeah. He's the little one of the group.
It's like Gears of War.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't look like Kirby with a bandana and a goatee, then you don't fit in with Marcus Phoenix's squad.
Yeah, I love that in the I think it's in the third game. Yeah, there's a guy. There's like the Weasley, weedy politician guy
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
who basically looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like
Yeah.
he's definitely he looks like a bodybuilder in our world,
Yeah.
but he's the weenie guy.
Yeah, he's the villainous. Yeah.
The lean.
Yeah.
Aha!
The skinny.
Something broke.
One more down.
Yeah. The Excelsior War Priest is the healer. Yeah, he is merely he is among a universe of barrel-chested Captain Americas. He is merely large.
No!
Did you break it?
No, I did not, but that one is small. Why
Have
is
you
that
been
one
marking them?
small? Well, these three are big.
Oh, okay.
So, do we have a pencil, Andy?
Somebody in chat make a note of that.
Yes. These three big, everything else so
you guys,
far.
you guys are
so
reliable for that. You're our note-taking system.
Thank you, Heather. My filing of screwdrivers is paying off.
Yeah, as long as that one's not small because it like broke in the hole or something. But
It doesn't look like it.
it is the same size as all the other ones.
Yes. And pointy, the way the other ones are pointy. Thank you, Heather.
Paper for that too?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean if you try the big screws first, they won't go into the small screw
Yeah.
hole, right?
Heather, I'm sorry. Could I bother you again to get me a fistful of paper towels from the bathroom?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
That's one of my favorite inspirations for Star Wars.
A fistful of paper towels?
Yeah.
Legit.
It's where they got the idea for Tarkin, I believe.
Are you using the side of your finger as a palette there?
Not
Tam?
on purpose.
I thought that was a technique, maybe.
It's happening, but
That
not on
stands.
purpose. Is that turning the screw? Yes, it is. Okay. Where are we at here?
Thank you very much.
God, this thing is harder to get into than Fort Knox. I mean, if you were trying to get into Fort Knox with the same tools.
Yeah.
I get what you're putting down.
What a lot of people don't know is why Fort Knox is difficult to get into isn't because it's a giant safe door.
Yeah.
It's because there's little teeny weeny eyeglass screws all the way around it.
Yeah.
Super annoying.
Gravity Pike, it's not that Apple doesn't want you to do your own maintenance. Not that they don't want you to do your own maintenance. But it's that I'm using exactly the wrong tools for the job right now.
I mean, this is Tinker Tailor. What they expect is going to happen.
Me to bleed, I guess, is what I'm
That seems
getting
to be
these
the
days.
prevailing thing they want to happen. Or expect to happen. rather.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants me to bleed. I'm very happy about that in our fan base. No one wants me to hurt myself, they just expect it to happen. It just happens.
Someone's asking whether you've ever used a wet palette cam.
I have, actually. I don't know why I'm not using one here. I used to use them all the time, and then I just use this out of a comic backing board because I think
It's because
Ooh.
when you do that, you lean over and you
Ooh,
put your mic quite close to it as well, which is nice.
oh,
Yeah, Chet's been getting all
oh, that was exquisite. That feeling. I need that as a ringtone.
Just
For anyone in chat who's curious, a wet palette is a palette. The ones I've used have been a sponge, like a kitchen sponge, in a Rubbermaid like sandwich container, with a strip of parchment paper over top, and it keeps all of your paint wet and allows you to easily blend colors.
So it's more like a extremely humid. Like, is the parchment paper actually sort of saturated with water?
No, but it acts as like a membrane that water can kind of like be drained into. It never struck me as being saturated, but it does make wet blending much easier.
But it doesn't actually water down your paints or anything.
No. Although you do want your paints milk thin.
like skim milk or
I don't drink milk. So, yes.
no. Do what I say
I'm not telling it to do anything.
with my mind.
Try your words.
Please, Screw. Turn the way you are. In Archimedes' name, I beg you. Release your bonds of static friction and come to me. I don't think I'd have an any easier time even if I had the correct tool at this point.
Is this the last screw you're on?
This is the last screw.
I mean, one screw isn't really going to be able to hold it against your,
Yeah, against your massive grip.
Yeah,
just tear it off.
Just take the,
We got like a crowbar in the back. What if you just rotate the entire thing? Wouldn't that work?
Actually, I'm just gonna think if I wiggle it.
That might loosen it a little?
Yeah. Doesn't appear to, but we can dream, can't we? All right.
So yeah, if I can get the overhead camera, you can see the effect of a nice thin coat of paint, that milk-like consistency we discussed earlier. It is just, the primer coat has just drunk it up. It's done a lot of our work for us.
Oh, nice. You're almost doing it's almost like a wash or something, like it's getting thicker in the
Yeah,
grooves.
yeah. So, we're just going to put on another one, just to ensure that we haven't missed anything, and that there's no exposed primer, because that's what'll kill you and make it look bad.
For some reason, I used to have problems sometimes right in the armpit. Sometimes there's a little divot there that really doesn't want to stay.
Yeah, I think they've gotten much better at sculpting miniatures in such a way that they break up a lot of the surface tension that the paint uses, or not uses, but has. Because you can get into some tricky problems here. Sorry, My instinct is to hold the miniature here, so I'm just going to reorient. The entire sitch, like so. How's that?
Looks good.
That's about comfortable for me. And it'll probably change the next time I go to paint it.
Well, the hope is that, yeah, that camera is a little easier for you to manipulate. So this guy's going to be bald?
Yep, he's a chrome dome.
It's like, Ian is just like, I will defeat you, computer.
Oh, everything.
I think it's because it's the last one. Though some people
It's like I've forgotten what I was trying to do to this computer now. It's just
Yeah.
opening it
My
is now the
entire
mission.
life has been here.
Some people in chat have suggested just snapping the screw and gluing it back.
I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to be right back, though. Give me a moment. Attempt to reseat this screwdriver.
It's when I'll be right back, and then walks away, and then you just hear, ah! Just runs in with like a javelin.
Yeah. Just like in Holy Grail, when Lancelot shows up at the wedding.
Right.
Okay.
Yup.
So it's like a brown with a kind of beige mixed in with it.
It's a black. It's a mixture of black paint, flesh wash. Here, I'll bring.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just working with it on this corner over here. It's a mixture of black, flesh wash, and Vallejo dwarf skin. And I'm gradually blending in more dwarf skin.
Trying to reseat the one screwdriver that is the right width. Now I need the leverage.
Well, the chat would be like, I hear hammering. Should I be concerned?
I mean, I could show them what he was using. Camera will move that far.
Just loosen.
This week on Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, we're making a case for seismically isolated cameras.
Yeah. The maybe we'll mount the camera not on the table next time.
Also for prep work. Checking if you have your tools.
Uh-huh.
Man,
The other thing is
we need to get Prof back so he can pee on that burn.
I hope that makes it into LT.
for those of you who asked or who saw the pre-release live stream and people complaining about it being very warm in the streaming office, it was. And the reason for that is twofold. One, of course, the air conditioning makes a lot of noise, or not a lot of noise, but some noise.
Yeah,
which
very noticeable amount of noise.
but the other part is that if we say we're on this like overhead shot, the overhead shot is attached to the roof, as you might guess. And the other thing that's attached to the roof is the air conditioning system. And so it looks like everything is in a giant earthquake
Yep.
while the AC is going. So
And we also have the delight of being in a room with how many lights? Several?
yeah, I mean they're relatively
For the amount of light they put out.
they're relatively cool lights,
Yeah.
but relative.
Yeah.
They're not the
They're not they're not painting lights.
they're not the 500 watt halogens that we used to have. Mm-hmm. But there are
Yeah, the
There are not, in fact, 4 lights. There are 3 lights plus the 2 overhead lights, which we sometimes, which we don't often use.
we could bring back Honeywell, but that doesn't really solve the problem of it being loud.
Yeah.
You'll remember we turned Honeywell off during streams because she was a noisy lady.
Yeah.
She was a brick house.
Just wanted to be heard.
Yeah.
Mighty.
So we're actually looking into whether we could have some sort of thing where at least the rest of the moon base could be air conditioned while the AC is turned off in this room. So then we could open the door and cooled air would come through.
Yeah. Because like during the pre-release, there are 5 of us in a 15 by 15 room. With studio lighting, and it's you could bring a pizza pop up to temperature pretty quickly in here.
Someone said, do you need a Dyson fan? We, in fact, have a Dyson fan. We have 2 Dyson fans, and they have been very useful. While not silent, they are quite quiet.
Yeah, I believe we were firing one under the table
Yeah.
during the pre-release, which was nice.
However, if the entire room is warm,
Yeah,
then
cycling the air around.
you're just moving around warm air, which isn't
Yeah.
actually that helpful. And because certain people out in the friend zone living area, who are not on camera, couldn't keep quiet, we had to keep closing the door. We're like, we're going to open the door, so you guys keep it down. And they never did. And once they started being too loud, we had to close the door again. So.
Yeah, which leaves the people in the ham locker in the ham locker.
The solution is tape over the mouths. Or you could just invest in some hand fans.
Yeah. Also, the other problem with fans is that we're playing with cards,
That's true.
moving large amounts of air around.
We did a crap shot about
Yeah.
what happens when you put a fan. Hey, no, that's the other side. I thought for a second you had got.
No, I just moved my thing around.
False hope. False hope for Paul.
What time is it right now?
It's just after 7:30.
We should probably take a break.
Yeah, I think this seems like a reasonable time to take a break.
All right.
So we'll be gone for about 5 minutes, chat.
When we come back, maybe Ian will have solved this problem magically. I don't know how that will happen, but I'm assuming something will happen while you're not looking.
Grip it and rip it. Sure thing. We'll be on Gamer Cow.
Yeah, it'll just be like cut to commercial. Rip. Oh look, it
Yeah.
got fixed.
It'll just be like that shot in Avengers 2 when Captain America rips the log in half.
All right, we will be back in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Oh, hey! Welcome back. As you can see, I've managed to remove the back.
Yeah.
And now I have no idea what I'm doing, which is going to be exciting.
Ooh.
I
these are so exquisitely designed.
I don't think I need this anymore. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how it looks on the inside. I'm really upset at the fact that it's still more Phillips screws. How's your paint going?
Good. I think I've got a reasonable
Headless.
base layer to work with. So we're going to start building up from here. Normally I'm here with at home I work with a halogen lamp, which provides very strong light.
Is it? Are you okay in terms of light right now?
Oh yeah. It's just, it doesn't really show up well on this camera. But,
Okay. I know we're not supposed to follow instructions, but I am going to pull up the iFixit guide. Because
I'm pretty sure that was never a rule. I think that's just your rule.
Well, I think that's one of the things you can't do on Twitch Creative is follow instructions.
Really?
So you can technically, I think you can do Lego, just not...
The out-of-box Lego?
Yeah.
No, they've changed that a little bit now.
Okay.
You can do out-of-box Lego.
Oh, that's nice. So I guess this fits then.
They just don't want people like assembling IKEA furniture or something.
Right. Yeah, I can see that being boring.
Well, I mean, we did it on Periscope that one time.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting for us, but not being exactly creative.
Now, if you were to do it creatively...
Isn't there a blog dedicated to that? Basically, like furniture making with IKEA building blocks. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's probably several now that
I think they actually, at least one of those actually got shut down by IKEA.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, we don't like what you're doing.
Wow.
Because I think some of their stuff was like taking advantage of, things that IKEA, getting like a whole bunch of like
replacement parts.
One little like replacement bit or something.
Right.
That was messing up their inventory.
Somehow I don't think it was probably having a large effect on IKEA's inventory. But yeah, I could see them being like, no. I'm a little surprised IKEA didn't take advantage of the chance to try to just market single pieces. Basically, as IKEA lumber or lumbar.
With like an umlaut on it.
Yeah.
somewhere.
I've forgotten which MacBook this is.
Doesn't it say on that plate that's attached to the vise?
Oh, hey. No. It gives me a year, but it might not be the right one. Let's find out together, shall we?
What, they put an incorrect year on the bottom just to throw you off the scent?
Man, Apple really doesn't want you doing your own product support.
This is from 1994.
Yeah, none of these batteries look right. Oh, wait, unless it's the wrong... the thumbnail's wrong. That's what the problem is.
Sure. That's the problem.
Damn you, I fix it. Solid
So-
state.
I have a bit of a conundrum here, chat. This is a priest, right? And my first instinct with priestly characters is that they should wear black, not white. I think with white he looks like white with yellow lightning bolts and red trim is kind of like Explosion at the Clown Factory territory. I think I want to paint his robes black, but I'm concerned it might just blend all together. So I was going to go with like the lightning bolts in white, from like a very like light blue base up to white. Wondering how you would think that would look. And then like instead of gold, having silver trim.
There's a lot of dark blues or dark reds or burgundies that people are suggesting.
I don't like those. They don't seem priestly to me.
I mean, that's what like cardinals wear, right?
Yeah.
So thankfully, there's a site on Apple's page that allows me to look up model numbers by serial number, which will be very handy. Do not mouth your serial number into the chat.
What? You think somebody's gonna like steal the identity of your computer? What? What does the serial number do?
Actually, it can be useful for Hackintoshing when you need to spoof a real Mac so that you can use iMessage.
So somebody could iMessage as you.
Well, they need other information as well, but... Okay, mid-2012. Good. Valid purchase date. Telephone support expired. Repair and service coverage expired.
Wait, is it a 2012 MacBook Pro non-Retina?
Yes.
Somebody in the chat said that. I don't know if they were able to just guess that from the looking at it or what, but
No, you guys are really good, is what it is.
I assumed that they were just throwing out random words, so I didn't actually pass that along.
To be fair, for the most part, chat is totally indistinguishable from a Markov chain bot.
No, you guys are very good at helping me out with these sorts of things.
All right, well, awesome job, Robocracy Now. Oh, apparently Robocracy Now is an Apple tech and recognized it.
Oh, I'm so sorry for what you're seeing right now. Huh.
But now, having recognized your serial number, he is busily voiding your warranties.
MacBook Air. Why does it keep wanting me to try a MacBook Air?
I'm really happy with the way this guy's skin tone is coming out.
There we go. Dual hard drive. Okay, so I've done that. I've taken the back off. Battery connection. Oh, yeah, probably to...
Battery connection? Nobody told me there'd be a battery in here.
So I need to spudge up the battery. Get that up there.
Priest should wear black.
I do think that the black is going to kind of go all muddy, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, in my Warhammer 40k army, my commissars wear all black. Like, even their armor, and it gives them this very stark monochrome look that I really enjoy, because, like, I really enjoy doing, like, the very, like, stark highlights with up to white. And it works well on them. And I want it to work well here. But I think there might just be too much greebly bits going on. Too many greebly bits.
Okay.
Suggestion for blue and gold.
That's not the worst thing. Maybe the white is correct, though. Maybe it should just be white. Like, it looks fine on the box, I guess.
Really?
Since you say it looks like Shaq, apparently purple and gold would be appropriate.
No, fine. Let's just do it like the box art. That'll be okay. It looks okay.
Chartreuse with aquamarine bolts.
Oh, chat's just fucking with me now.
Someone also asked if you were going to try and put writing in the book.
Yes. It has to look in a certain. It has to look like a certain thing, though, right? You can't just have like a parchment-colored page, and then add black ink over top of it, like try to mimic black ink with black paint at this scale. It doesn't look like you would think it. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as it should, as you think it would. It looks quite bad when you do that. So I'll be doing something different for this guy. So what we're doing now is we're just giving the white robes an underlay of a very kind of like light bluish green, or bluish gray. Space Wolves gray, for those of you who care about such things.
And I'm assuming that for the Apple tech in the room that using a knife is not the appropriate tool to...
This is being posted on a very specific subreddit that is a private subreddit for Apple techs.
My image is being shown to Tim Cook right now, and
he's crying.
He's shaking his head. Johnny Ives is already he's too drunk. He's too drunk to sit up.
This is when
they're accelerating their drone program.
This is when sometimes you got to do work on your laptop when you're out in the Australian outback. And, you got to get your Bowie knife out. And,
He needs a bigger knife.
Yeah.
Boo. Boo.
Get spudged. Okay, everything has been spudged.
No Crocodile Dundee.
Do I have to?
What?
I have to disconnect one of these things. One of these tiny ribbon cables, and I don't want to. Well, maybe I can get away with not doing it if I am very careful with the screwdriver I use.
Robocracy now says, generally not, but if it works.
Okay, I appreciate your support, Robocracy. Okay, that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the knife to start the screws that are up against the delicate ribbon cables and not scrape the knife against them. Okay. Where's my magnetized screwdriver? Come with me on the journey. Okay. Let's see here. I think I've just about got it all. I need to remember where these go. These go up top. Now I'm laying out my screws in a pattern so that I know where they go when I put them back. This is generally how I do things. It's very dangerous because a slight gust of wind or an errant hand could mess up my pattern. But hey, sometimes you just gotta YOLO it. Hey, torque screw, I'm excited. That one I can actually use a bit driver on. This was a lot easier in my mind.
I mean, realistically, what you've done so far is take the back off the thing and take some ribbon cables out.
Oh, and a bunch of screws.
Right. But it's mostly been taking out screws at this point.
Yeah. All right, so that's the upper assembly. That's the speaker assembly, in fact. That's supposed to lift out, is it? Yes.
This is one of those things that you have to disassemble practically the entire thing in order to change one aspect.
More than I'd like is what's going on here. Like, that's got to come out. And I don't like it. Ooh. I'm not a fan. Also, fans.
Tell you what is a fan.
Oh,
Don't say it. Damn it, Paul.
Anal shumka. My least favorite kind of shumka.
I am not familiar with that term.
Shumka?
Shumka.
It's Ukrainian dancing.
Oh, now that opens up a whole can of issue questions.
That just raises further questions.
Yeah.
Anal shunka.
I don't believe
The traditional
Video minus YouTube.
safe search on or off.
Oh,
First on,
then off.
Oh no. I'm not pleased with how this is going.
What a refreshing change of pace.
We're back to these screws that don't want to come out. Yep.
Oh no.
What's up?
Well, the knife is bent its tip.
You bent your Wookiee.
Oh.
If you want to fix the Apple laptop from scratch, first you must create the universe. First you must take all the little teeny weeny screws out of the universe.
Well played, whomever that was. Why are you so small? I don't want to give up, but
You really do love the end.
yeah, I've still got time to fill.
Ever forward.
Never learning.
Oh God, I'm should have learned. How's it going for you, Cam? Is everything turning the way it should?
I believe so.
Do you have all the tiny screwdrivers you need?
Yep.
Tinker, Tailor, unscrew, cry.
It's kind of what it's turning into.
Tinker, Tailor, fuck you, cry.
Yeah, except the unscrewing isn't actually really happening as much as one would hope.
Well, this screwdriver seemed to work good for me when I banged it with a hammer. Let's do that again.
Oh, you're still having the problem with the...
Don't want to work.
Tiny little
Just
screws,
wanna
and this
bang
one
on
screwdriver
the Mac
doesn't.
all day.
Oh, the... You're trying to just clamp it into the...
Yeah. Seems to be working.
It's like you've got it on like an anvil or something.
Yeah, that's actually what the back end of that
Exactly what he's doing.
vice is.
Yeah, we literally just... You had to stop, so for hammer time, that's what you just did.
But these screws are so tight that I don't think I can...
So are you feeling that your decision not to become an Apple tech?
Well, no, see, they'll give you the tools.
Oh. Are they all proprietary? I assume so.
This is it's a fucking Phillips head screwdriver. This is not a proprietary tool.
It's just a very specific kind of Phillips screwdriver.
Yeah.
Not quite the kind of knife fighter.
Yeah, this is actually surprisingly similar to the Apple Engineer test. It's like disassemble this screwdriver, disassemble this entire laptop. Here is a knife.
Yeah. Like, I am 3 screws away from being able to do this.
But it might as well be a mile of screws.
Yep. Which screws do I have in my screwdriver at home? Because it's either that or leave this here overnight, which doesn't seem like a good idea. You probably want to use your studio tomorrow.
Theoretically, there isn't anything that needs to be shot in here tomorrow, but I don't sure about that.
You need to know.
One never knows.
This is screws for every end.
Yep. Let's see here. Like, I could just dry fit everything back together. Or I could rip everything out. That's not going to help.
There are 2 ways this could go. Together or apart.
Let's see here.
Fall together or fall apart?
So even that one that was the right size is not working on that, eh?
No. I'm just going to check something here. Let's see if my girlfriend is at home. Yes, she is. Excellent. Do you have an eyeglasses size Phillips head? Also, if there's anyone out there in the Victoria area.
I mean, I do, but here.
If need be, I can always come back and do this, but it would be nice. Well, let's do something we can do.
You need to go get one again. I'm sure we can spend some money if we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Well, I'm just asking Corey if she has one here. In the meantime, let's open up this SSD drive.
Unboxing vid.
Yep. So that came out. And that will now go into this thing.
Looks like a Kingston.
It is, in fact, that's what it says on the label.
Oh, okay.
Hooray, that's done.
it's the small victories, right?
Yeah, exactly. Friction fit, everything's good. You know, it'd be even worse is if this didn't even, if this wasn't the right size.
Yeah. Man, wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah. Be hilarious.
We just right, that wraps it up. Stream continues in 10 minutes at the cheapest bar we can find.
Yep. Well, I do need to actually take the spacer out of this that holds things in. So you just chunk it in there. There we go. Now it's nice and flat. And then you put the spacer on top. That holds it in good and tight.
I think I'm going to paint the interior of this guy's cloaks and with the fur lining of this guy's cloak with sable, because he's already blinged all to hell and back. So might as well give him a really, really nice fur lining to his cloak.
So fancy.
Yeah. Well, he's just like, this is like Vatican Prime here, right? Like,
Wait, whoa, the derivative of Vatican?
yeah. Actually. Wow, got there. You know how the Vatican is like this, like solid gold country? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a feeling the Church of Sigmar was modeled on that.
Pretty confident about that. Corey's unsure where her screwdrivers are. So I think
that this, like your smallest one,
might be.
might work just with the tip. Although I missed to put it in there. Okay, good. But give it a try.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. I think it's sharp enough.
Oh.
No, it's not actually. Well, it might be for this one if I could get it.
Isn't
Also not quite sharp enough.
no?
No. I think we're
Oh, right. They gave the Church of Sigmar basically its own entire dimension, didn't they?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. The realm of Sigmar is like its own.
Everything is like its own dimension now.
Yeah. That's where the Quester Knights come
The
from.
realm.
They're kind of like battle angels, aren't they?
Yeah, get some purchase on it, but I guess not quite enough. Oh well.
I found some small screwdrivers. When do you need them?
Bring them by tomorrow.
Okay. So Corey is on her way with tiny screwdrivers, which may or may not solve our problem.
All right.
In the meantime, I'll just, I'll try to restrain myself from fucking up that screw anymore. Ideally, we only need to do this once.
That would be ideal. Let's see if that's what happens.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Nice things are nice.
So I'm just trying to open up my white paint here, which has become clogged. And apparently Vallejo paints are quite rubbery when they dry.
These things are tiny little springs. Not sure what they do. But I'm sure they're important.
All right.
I'm sure it's all important to someone,
There's a little one right there, too.
somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, they probably wouldn't be there if they weren't important.
They probably just give it a little bit more support.
So many tiny antennas. DVD multi-writer.
So many teeny weeny things that.
Oh yeah, where is the
shouldn't be hit
Wi-Fi
with a
antenna?
hammer.
The Wi-Fi antennas are,
Like, is it built around the perimeter of the device?
I think
or-
they go up into the
It's
head.
Around, it's usually around the
Okay.
monitor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess less interference there.
Well, you also get that vertical.
Yeah. Okay.
Which-
Yeah.
Good.
Thrill.
Thrill is we make uninformed, educated guesses.
And I rummage around in a bottle of paint with a knife.
Ooh, hey.
It's very medieval. This is like Monty Python and the Holy Grail when
Yeah,
they're
wait a
wandering
minute.
through like when they're
They've been
wandering
holding out on us.
when they wander through like some kind of cityscape and there's people just doing random shit for no appreciable
yeah,
reason.
no.
Like the one guy when they walk past the stream and there's the one guy fishing with the log.
We have X-Acto knives.
Hey.
I have an X-Acto knife too.
Yeah, but would that might be sufficient?
Well, we could try breaking the point off this, too.
They're very hard steel. Whew. Yeah, that was bracing
Actually-
what happened just there.
I have a bunch of blades, so I'm just going to snap off the
yeah, I
end.
think we've got a pack of 100 blades or something.
Yeah,
Real
I'm going to give that a try. Well, Corey shows up.
Might as well get it up to, what, 5, 6?
Yeah. If nothing else, I can clean out these, clean out the slots from all the leftover screw I hope what I've etched out as screwdriver and not screw. No, yeah, those screws are fine. That's just full of liquid metal. Metal shavings from the screws.
Hooray.
Screwdriver. The screw's
okay.
fine. The
Wait, there are metal shavings just rummaging, like floating around?
Yeah, isn't that great?
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
that what
no,
you
that-
want in there?
Isn't that what caused the fire in Apollo 1?
I think it's pretty clear that Safety Alex is not around.
Yep.
In fact, I think Safety Alex has a little screwdriver on his side.
Oh yeah, he always the time.
That seems like a very Alex kind of thing to have.
I don't know if it's quite small enough a screwdriver, but
Actually, that one, I think I know which one you're talking about. And I think that one might actually be too small.
That guy. How's chat doing over there, Heather?
They're commenting on how Ian said he would resist to try to screw up the screw anymore, and then immediately kept on trying to.
Jam a knife in there.
There we go. There's the plug. Oh, that's satisfying.
Ooh, ow, that's a nice one.
Yeah, pulled it right out of the...
Oh, right.
You know, Ken, what I've always
it's like a
wanted.
booger.
Yeah.
I know you can appreciate this too. I've always wondered how long it would take to ignite if I were to just say put that into that lithium-ion battery.
I wouldn't think very long.
No.
Like lithium-ion batteries are pretty temperamental devices, aren't they? Like they get angry.
We would stand a good chance of dying.
Would we?
Well, if we didn't move.
Yeah.
Tinker Tailor is all about experimentation.
Tinker, Tailor, chemical fire, die.
That was like nihilist Bob Ross.
Yeah, I can see why people don't want to get into the... Well, no, I don't. This is an easy job that I have made incredibly difficult by simply not bringing a tiny Phillips screwdriver. I feel like I should write a poem or something.
An ode?
Well, I was going to go with haiku, but... An ode to a misplaced driver. Yeah, I do not think that the X-Acto knife is going to cut it. Me?
All of us are just going to let that go. Just let it go, Cam. Let it go.
Maybe if I tried a ceramic knife.
You definitely can't wait for anything, can he? How's your figure going?
Quite nicely. I've got the white base, or the base coat for the white cloth started. So we're just giving a slightly lighter coat on top. Again, these are all just milk-thin layers of paint. Just giving the suggestion of three-dimensionality here. Like, well, not suggestion, the figure is three-dimensional, but we're trying to enhance what's already there. We're working with the figure, not against it.
What's the difference between, like, it was primed white already,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're painting it white? They're different kinds of paint, eh?
Yeah, well, primer is porous and slightly pebbled, giving it it's thirsty. It drinks up paint. So when you put your base coat down, it gets right in there, and then each subsequent coat of paint has to kind of work with that. But this is a very nice figure with a lot of
Extremely tiny crevices.
yeah, but this is a very nice brush.
Can
Letting it do all the work for me.
it turn screws?
Unfortunately, no. Let me leave it in some paint overnight.
Okay.
You'll need to break it up with a ball peen hammer.
Fortunately, I only have this claw hammer.
Damn. Do you have a knife?
Couple.
Cool, I'll need
I
one.
think they're ruined.
Doesn't need to be very sharp.
That's not an intended use. They say that you should actually, one of the reasons to install a flash drive rather than just or replace your CD-ROM drive with a flash drive is weight savings. And just feeling this, I honestly don't know if it's any lighter than the drive I'm going to be removing.
Never heard that.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be an extremely minor saving, if anything.
But I mean, the people who tend to care about weight really care about weight, so shaving off a few grams here and there will definitely matter to them. I personally don't know anyone like that, so. But
I feel like any
savings you would have are probably offset by like the little caddy you have to put it into.
The
If you could just put it in, if you could just put it in straight, you'd probably
Yeah,
save more.
like the caddy's surprisingly light, but the drive itself, I think because this particular Kingston drive is actually encased in metal, which surprises me. I thought this was just going to be painted plastic. There's no reason for it to be metal. But it's a bit heavier than it needs to be. I wonder if I could replace all the screws with Torx ones in the future.
Thumb screws.
Yeah, sure. Just thumb screw it in there.
Yeah.
Butterfly screws.
I do like my Torx screws because they do provide a very good, you know when they're seated. And they don't pop out like a Phillips or a Posidrive. I mean, it could be nice if we could have Robertson screws in our computers. Then we'd be. Then we'd be laughing. Oh, has a savior appeared?
Small screwdriver?
Small screwdrivers, please.
A tiny, tiny savior.
Oh, please. Then one of these be.
More of the exact same screwdrivers.
But there are two that look like they could work. Three, in fact. Corey, I'm going to set yours to the side here. And hopefully I won't ruin them all.
So
They're
many
yours.
choices.
These are mine?
Pretty sure they came from your bag, not my bag.
My bag.
Okay, is the bag mine?
That bag is yours.
Good.
This is exactly the screwdriver I wish I had 2.5 hours ago. Thank you so much, Corey.
Could have gotten 2.5 hours and 15 minutes ago.
But that wouldn't have been nearly as entertaining. Oh, that feels good. That just slides right out. You heard me.
We all heard you.
This is not actually a hard problem.
Oh, there we go. Nope. Come back.
I'm having a fucking flashback here.
And there she goes. Now I just need to apparently lift this out. Let's go back to the instructions. Use the flat end of a spudger to pry the optical drive connector up from its socket on the logic board.
I love the word spudger.
I know. It's such a good word.
He says, as he does not use a spudger.
Oh no, I've already spudged.
Oh.
Okay, so it's out. Please be the right size. Please be the right size. It looks like it's actually too big. Will it go in anyway? It might. It might. So just looking at these things, one of these things is slightly higher than the other. One of these things,
You hold them straight to the camera.
yeah, so have a look there. Ironically enough, I was thinking about doing this while I was away at Autofest. I'm glad I didn't.
Did you bring a tiny set of screwdrivers with you?
No, I did not. And this was also, I think, the night before the late night dub fight? No, it was after, so it was safe. Good lord. Oh, that must be the EL lighting for the keyboard. How
So is that
quaint.
the thing you have there, is that from, that is originally intended for the iMac?
Yes. CD drives come in two different heights. I think they're 13 millimeters and 18 millimeters? No, that doesn't seem right. Well, this feels okay-ish-esque.
The Moatman wants to know if you were going to bring in a large iMac with you to Otafest in order to do this project.
I was actually going to buy a second thing. I think this might work. We're going to find out. We're going to button it all back up. But it feels like it's like setting in the right spaces.
Rad.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
With it being slightly high, I guess the question is whether the top will fit on there.
Yeah, that's going to be the question. And, well, you know what? Like I said, we're just going to find out together. But everything feels fine. And now that I've got the right tools, it should be okay.
Yeah, someone commented earlier that they said it didn't feel like TTSF when you had the right tools.
The funny thing is, Ian has so many tools here.
Yeah. I brought a large box with me when we started this show up.
Like, just goes to show you, it's not necessarily the volume of tools.
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to dry fit this for now. Wow.
What?
Well, there's this little adapter on the back here, which is what's used to screw it down in the back end. On the front end, there are these two holes here which don't actually attach to anything that I can see, which leads me to believe, unless they're underneath this bit of foil here, that it leads me to believe it doesn't get bolted in the front, which is okay. But let's do our dry fit. Let's see if it's going to be okay, or if we need to stop right the F now. Okay, despudged. Getting
That was my name in high school.
Despudged.
Despudge. What about despudge? I'm so... No, wait. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry.
Own it, Cam.
I like Ian is shockingly competent with the right tools.
Thank you.
Yeah. He is. His issues lie in the selection of tools. But once the tool has been selected,
No problems whatsoever. I've got a bad feeling about this, actually, guys.
not even taking a breath after. Ooh, no.
Oh,
Yep. Something got in the wrong place.
Or the drive's too high, right?
Yeah, I think that's going to be... So that's good. That's actually... Oh, that's because the battery's not plugged in. In we go. Yep, guys. We are, I think,
Hooped.
a little hooped.
You do have that vice clamp.
I could, yeah, just crush it. Just crush it.
Give them the clamps.
But we're going to try an experiment here and see how upset this computer gets without a... No, you know what? We're going to do something even crazier here.
no.
You couldn't even finish the first sentence, Ian.
Yeah.
We've already made it crazier before we even started.
So what I was planning to do was I was thinking, okay, you know what? I'll just leave both drives out and not plug the original optical drive back in. But I feel like maybe just not even using this caddy. Seeing if I can mount it in there some other way. Maybe just with some friction and some tape. Or just some tape. I'm going to take it back out, and then we're going to see what kind of tape we have here in the moon base.
We have lots of tape here.
We do have a lot of different tapes. Gaffy tape is really good at holding on for a long time, too.
Mm.
And then we actually do save some weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people want you to file it down.
I don't know if I've got time to file it down.
Sometimes, for chat's sake, you just gotta take the time.
It's true. Oh, hi, thank you. Oh, hi, Corey. Thank you.
Or is your tape sommelier for
Yep.
this evening?
I'll take that. Okay, so now we've got another problem here.
What did you use my health insurance for?
That's my card.
Yes, but
It's been doing double duty as Spudger tonight. Spudging up. So, fun fact. This connector on the back here is not the same as this connector on the back here.
That's a fun fact, huh?
Yeah, so my first theory was not going to work. However, if we take this apart and just take out the connector, I bet we can make this work.
Wait, what? It's a different connector?
Yeah, so the back of a SATA drive, a standard SATA drive, and the back of this tiny SATA adapter thing are different.
And the tiny one is what's needed?
Yeah, this won't. The point is, this will not plug into this directly, and this is what plugs into the motherboard. So we're going to see what's inside this and see if we can just make this work.
Is this like on Red Green when they would have their projects and they'd be like, now this will normally blow your normal household fuse, so we've gone into the fuse box and replaced all the fuses with quarters.
I mean, we are using duct tape now.
Yeah.
So we're already halfway to the red-green plan.
How does chat feel about my plan here?
They're surprised that you're going deeper. Someone mentioned something about it being a joke, so I don't know if they also suggested tape at one point.
Like
Lots of ever forwards.
I like the idea of this being just something that works.
I like that idea too.
Some people don't know what red green is, so maybe
Ooh.
you'd like to explain that.
Who wants to take that?
Red Green was a Canadian television series based in like a fictional small town populated by
Sarnia. Sarnia.
yeah,
I don't know if it was Sarnia or not.
I mean, it wasn't even a town. It was just like a
like
little lodge.
a resort kind of on the side of a lake populated by rural folk, one of whom was Red Green, and they had a television show.
On a local cable, I believe the conceit was that it was a local cable access show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
think of like a Canadian version of Wayne's World, hosted by just the most affable, friendliest
Like
rednecks.
basically Doug McKenzie's grandfather.
Yeah,
Like Tim Tailor
yeah,
TV show where you have a redneck whose big thing is duct tape as opposed to engine power.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not quite redneck.
Yeah,
It's
redneck
not
isn't the
quite-
right word.
It's,
It's the Canadian equivalent, but because it's not sunny enough for you get actually a redneck.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it had a good heart to it. It wasn't
Yeah.
my kind of humor, but it had
it
a
was.
very good heart.
Yeah, it was very kind. It treated its
Friendly.
characters kindly.
I really like
It didn't make fun of its characters,
Yeah.
like not maliciously, right? Like they were all like deliberately kind of
Oh,
stupid people, but they were
yes.
kind-hearted people.
My favorite was a guy talking, the guy who's being interviewed about sport whaling. That he does where you harpoon or you throw a rope around the whale and then you ride it until it tires out.
Awesome.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they made a movie about that a while later, right?
Moby Dick.
The Whale Rider. Kamchalaka? What was her
I have
name?
no idea.
She had a name before her name was Whale Rider. It was a New Zealand movie.
Oh, okay.
There is a lot of screws in that.
But screws are no danger anymore.
But yes. Wow, that's full of dust. Wow, there's a lot of hot. So this is some serious Chinese quality going on right here. But
Made out of Chinesium.
there's not a lot. Wow.
Ooh, those sod.
Check this quality soldering on the back. I almost feel bad about putting this in my computer, but not bad enough that I'm not going to do it. Like, look at that. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And these, that's a blob. I mean, we are eventually going to get to the fry or the solder section of Tinker Tailor solder fry, and I will heartily admit right now that I'm not that good at soldering, but I'm better than this.
Yeah, it really lowers the tone of the whole laptop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that seems better. I like that. That just goes in there now.
Better.
That just goes there now. What have we got for tape? We don't want grip tape. We don't want duct tape.
I believe there's also some gaff tape around.
Yes. I think this is, yes, bright orange gaff tape.
It's yellow.
It's been a long day, Heather. Let me have this.
Okay.
I think that's enough. This is going to be one of those computers I run till it dies, so,
Next week.
Next week on Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, Ian's dead computer.
Chat really wants you to use aluminum tape.
I'm sure they do. I'm not sure I should.
Chet wants a lot of things.
You know what? I think just one is going to be fine where it is.
If the guy who claimed to be an Apple tech earlier starts screaming, then maybe.
I mean, it's not like it's going to be vibrating.
No, I mean this is not going to be vibrating at all.
Have you gotten rid of the last moving component?
No.
Okay.
There's still one more moving piece hard drive, and it is securely attached to itself.
That was the one thing I loved about my my MacBook Air. Was that
yes.
with the SSD, the only moving part in the entire computer was the hinge.
Was you?
Yeah, well, I guess the keyboard counted as well.
Doesn't even have a fan in it?
No, sorry, it does have a fan. Yeah, my bad. I lied. I just completely made that entire thing
You're
up.
a liar, Cam.
Yeah.
Ian, the suggestion is if you ever sell this computer, Desert Bus auction it.
No, don't buy my bad projects. There are going to be some opportunities to get some things out of Tinker Tailor yourself. I won't be selling anything, but in the future, there may be a raffle.
It would be a piece of history.
Yeah, or not a raffle. Sorry, a giveaway. There will be a giveaway in the future.
Can't use the word raffle.
No, and
It's like that episode of The Simpsons when Homer inadvertently makes an art project by getting so angry at the barbecue that he just destroys everything and puts
Yes.
it in a giant pile. That's what this is going to be.
How you holding up, Cam?
Good. I mean, the robes are coming along, I think. They're a bit difficult to make out. Oh no, wait, there's a decent angle on them. I think those look kind of all right.
you know what I am going to add to the back of this?
Solid state fans?
Solid state fans?
I don't think that's a thing.
I think our fans are pretty solid state.
I kind of almost want to do the entire miniature up like in those just like some kind of monochrome white. But
Yeah, that should do. So what I'm doing now is just providing a little bit of spacer so that it can friction fit its way in.
It's great that the drive came with its own spacer material.
Yeah,
Very convenient.
super handy. There we go. That way it won't be hanging off of the EL material. It can ride its way out or something. I should probably put the screws back in where they belong. Like the extra screws, I mean. Eventually I'll want to use them. Maybe. If this thing starts rattling around too much, maybe I'll eventually buy another caddy for it. But I'm kind of excited just to know what's underneath. Is the most hackety hack job. Nope.
And if the hard drive dies, and they need to see like the proof of purchase or whatever, it's right there with the drive inside.
Yeah. I should really just, that's what I should start doing is keeping all of my receipts for my computers inside the computers themselves. That way I'll never lose them.
Is that like the thought experiment of putting the launch codes for the nuclear missiles surgically implanted inside the chest of the officer carrying the nuclear football?
Ooh.
And the football itself just contains a butcher knife?
I like that.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, no, the argument is that before killing billions of people,
You have to kill one.
you have to kill one.
Jesus.
There's my Magna block. Magna Doodle.
Chat brings up the point that receipts are often on thermal paper, which would not be such a good idea.
Well, at least now that we have the proper screws, thank you again, Corey, we'll be able to at least reassemble this in a manner that is much quicker than the disassembly.
Very cromulent.
Look, all I wanted to do was embiggen my hard drive space.
Yeah, I did an SSD upgrade on my Mac Mini, which does literally require taking every single thing out of the case.
Actually, I also did a Mac Mini SSD upgrade recently. And you were right, it requires taking everything out.
Like down to the bare metal.
If I recall, though, the Mac Mini, uses a lot more Torx screws.
Yeah, I didn't really have a problem. The screws weren't my big issue. Just how cramped it was inside there was the biggest problem.
I do think that these screwdrivers are going to live here at the moon base as long as this show is running.
Well, they seem quite useful.
Also, to be fair, you broke most of ours, so you kind of owe us a set of screwdrivers.
What? I didn't break any of your screwdrivers.
What about all the screwdrivers that you were filing?
Those are mine.
Oh, those are yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
Broke his
okay.
own.
Yeah, the only screwdriver of yours is this one, which was too big to go inside.
Okay.
He is responsible in breaking his own things and not others.
What I do owe you is a knife,
Okay.
which is fine. I think I should get the get the moon base a nice ceramic knife for cutting vegetables with.
Oh, yes. We could go to the kitchen store on Blanchard.
We could do that. I was going to go to the dollar store. They have ceramic knives there.
Really?
Yeah, I bought one for my office because I occasionally make sandwiches, and I
Yeah.
like to add a tomato.
Right.
But if you put the tomato in before you take it to work, it gets all soggy.
Yeah, soggy and gross.
So
yeah.
I started bringing in my sandwich knife, my sandwiches with the tomato on the side, and all the work knives are just they're like cutting with a, with the back end of a claw hammer.
Yeah.
So it's just like what you did in that one crap shot.
Which crap shot? Oh, yeah, with yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
So I decided to bring in my own knife and keep the packaging, and I am the person at work who has the ceramic knife in their desk drawer. Some people wonder, others, once I explain, understand. Some still wonder. But hey, I'm still employed.
What everyone agrees is that you have a plausible pretense for carrying a knife at work.
Yes. It's going to be important when the terrorists come to take away my knives.
Wasn't that like, what was the character's name on Parks and Rec? The guy who had a claymore mine on his desk?
I need to watch Parks and Rec.
Yeah. No, it's a fun show. I've watched a tiny bit of it.
Okay. Let's reassemble.
Ron Burgundy?
That sounds like the character's name. That sounds like a character from Parks and Rec.
I mean, the actor who did that was who we lifted the Christmas
Yes.
video from.
Nick Offerman.
All right, chat. Now, where do the long screws go? Do you remember? You were supposed to take notes.
No cheating by looking at the case itself. That's one of the things I love about the Apple cases is the aluminum. The raw aluminum makes such a good blackboard.
Oh, right. Ron Swanson. Ron Burgundy is from Anchorman.
Yes. Well, let's hand in our pop culture badges.
Yeah. Yep.
Chat says the long screws go in the long holes.
You are not incorrect, chat.
The 3 went along the back hinge.
You are as right as possible while being completely useless.
Oh, I love you so much, Phillips head screwdriver. Where were you my entire life? In my apartment, apparently, but still.
We could literally take some of that stuff you did before, turn it in black and white, and use it as like, has this ever happened?
Tired of using knives on your Phillips head screwdrivers?
You should get a screwdriver, because that's what it's for.
Or okay. And if I'm done with this, in the last 5 minutes, I'm going to put the caddy back together with no circuitry in it for no good reason.
Are we rushing to see if this is going to post before the stream ends?
Well, we've got 5 minutes, and I'm just about to button the last screw in with only screws from the caddy left over. Seems good. Are you ready?
Can you do it?
Or you give it a little shake.
Actually, yeah. Actually, it feels noticeably lighter.
Nice.
So that's nice. Here we go.
All right.
Okay, so that's good so far.
So the hard drive that was there is still working.
Yeah, and it's booting into Mac OS, so I have installed Windows on this as well, because I wanted to play Overwatch. I haven't found out if Overwatch runs yet.
Chat really, really wants you to watch the screen now.
No, I can see. It's doing the thing.
No, they want you to wash it.
Wash the screen. Oh, yes.
They are appalled by the smudges.
Yeah. Too bad.
You have to make sure the computer works first.
Yeah, then I could worry about washing the screen.
Otherwise, it's just very kind of like, the process of sitting Shiva with your dead computer.
Now watch how Ian washes the screen with a screwdriver.
Where's my sanding block?
Knife.
Wait, see, today on Tinker Tailor, we're going to properly wash a screen, which means we're going to take it down with 80 grit sandpaper all the way to 400 grit polishing compound. Your screen's not really clean unless you've got everything off it. Okay.
So first, put everything in hot soapy water.
Oops. Right.
Is that drive formatted?
No, it's not. So we might as well do that while we're at it. Okay, it boots fine.
Nice glare. There you go.
What does
I
it
love
say?
your wallpaper, by the way, Ian.
Thank you. The disk you inserted is not readable by this computer. Initialize.
Prepare to initialize.
It's like, the disk you inserted is not readable. Also, how did you insert a disk? There wasn't a place to put it.
Oh, hey, it's Beach Jury's birthday tomorrow.
Also, I don't know where my CD is anymore.
Yeah.
Help.
Yeah, suddenly you cut to, what was the guy's name in Alien Resurrection? Purvis, the colonist. He's just like, what's inside me?
Oh yeah, 400 is not actually a good polishing compound. 8,000 grit or riot. I think 800 is what I used on my aluminum forks when I was still building my motorcycle, which we will not be able to finish on Tinker Tailor due to its being in Lethbridge. And I'm not bringing a motorcycle into this studio. Kathleen would have my head. Also, I don't think it would get around the corner. Anyway, hey, those are updates, not the thing I need.
That sounds like quitter talk, Ian. If it doesn't get around the corner, you just need to pop a wheelie.
Actually, you're right.
Yeah. You can get it up on the back wheels. Fit around the corner then.
Yep. Okay, it's loading discs. Yes.
Please watch your mic going against the computer.
Oh, yes.
You're scratching.
You're
It's
correct.
Not nice.
Still loading discs.
We could do a location shoot for the motorcycle, but it is still in Lethbridge.
Yes. I don't think everyone wants to go to Lethbridge.
Even virtually. Nobody wants to watch a stream from Lethbridge.
Weren't large parts of Lethbridge designed by the same guy who designed the SFU campus?
And had smashed in Buffalo Jump. I think you're thinking of specifically the. Actually, I don't know if it's the same person.
Was
I know
it the bridge?
I know that the university was designed by the same man who did Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump, but I don't know if he did SFU as well.
Okay.
It is a very similar architecture, and I could see it being the case.
Yeah, pretty cool, I think so.
Is it going?
I believe we've got,
Yay!
It
we've got
lives.
Caron, and we see Kingston, blah, 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 blah.
Let's come on around. So what should we name this chat? What should we name this drive chat?
Well, if the drive is Karen, right? The next one.
That was the other drive, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, CHAARON?
KH I went with.
Oh, okay. How about
let me give-
Ixion?
Ixion?
Yeah.
I'm down. I will.
Chiron and Ixion?
Who is Ixion?
Ixion was another one of the centaurs in the
Okay.
underworld.
Chat.
The river.
Dickfoot. Fire hazard. Pluto. Plankton.
So just to give you a little bit of history on how I name my
Drives.
my drives and computers. Ever since I was in Japan, I've been going off of names of potential ships within the Battlestar Galactica.
Driving me drive.
Oh, okay.
Driving big drive.
So I've got at home my prime drive. My computer used to be Galactica, and then I had to get a new Galactica because I upgraded my computer.
We're going to need a new Galactica.
Yeah. So my new computer then became Valkyrie, which was the other.
Yeah, his other Battlestar.
Yeah, generally my primary computer is named after a Battlestar.
Okay.
So my current prime computer, the Hackintosh, is Pegasus. Again, I think I've now run out of known Battlestar
Yeah,
names.
Canonical Battlestars.
Yeah, sadly that area is quite small.
Yeah.
Yeah. Driving McDrive face.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong contender for a lot of people here.
My
Totally a CD drive, I like.
All of my
Better
computers
Donald Trump.
are named after fictional artificial intelligence.
I like that.
Yeah. So I had, Wintermute and Papa Legba, and now I'm on to my current phone is GCU Gray Area, and my current desktop is GCU Total Internal Reflection,
Nice.
or GSV Total Internal Reflection.
My phones generally follow the Viper designations,
Oh, okay.
and it just increases on number based on the phones themselves.
Right.
I go Mario enemies is my thing.
Oh, okay.
My computer's Thwomp. My laptop is Thwimp. My my phone is Boo. My iPad is Big Boo.
Okay.
I like that distinction.
Yeah. My little flash drive is Bullet Bill.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. My big my big NAS storage box is Megamole. It's what's great is then you also get a good icon for it.
Oh, yeah. Papa Legba was one of the fragmented AIs that resulted from the fusion of Wintermute and Neuromancer that turned up in Mona Lisa Overdrive and Count Zero.
So the fanboy in me has to ask, have you used yet Durandal?
No.
And will you?
Maybe.
I think you've got a number to go through yet
Oh yeah,
before you need to
there
hit that
are
bottom.
mountains of them.
Yeah.
I like the
It's not a real positive
positive association.
Yeah, you'd like to keep your device from going rampant if at all possible.
Yeah. Although I love the term rampant.
Yep.
Because it means, both kind of like, it has this kind of like berserker connotation, but it also means something standing up on its hind legs, right, in heraldry.
Yes.
Right. There's the Lilo is the main one.
Yes.
In Marathon?
In Marathon.
Okay, yeah.
Lilo's the AI that actually is like trying to work with you at the beginning.
Right.
Leela,
Also goes rampant.
Durandal, and Tycho was the third one. If I remember correctly. Okay.
Yeah, no, the fragmented AIs in Count Zero identified themselves, like they actually like self-identified as the voodoo gods.
Wow.
Yeah, so Papa Legba was the AI that was concerned with the internet and networks because he's the Hugans of Crossroads?
I need to learn more about the voodoo.
All right.
Well, Ixion it is.
All right.
Because I like that name. And
I
then
think
later,
it's a rad name.
and later it will become my boot drive.
Ooh.
But not today, because I think we've come to the end of this particular episode.
Okay.
Our-
Yeah.
well, let's put a cap on what you've done here.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I've primed, built, and gotten some base colors on this Hyperion War Priest. You can see the white robes, I think, are in a state that I'm happy with. His skin, I like. And all of his scrolls, like all the, what are they? The, like, priests have the scarves, right? The very long ones. I forget what they're called.
They have a name, but
I forget. Yeah. But yeah, I think I like the way that looks. It's kind of silky.
yeah, I'm very excited to see how that comes out in the end.
And then we'll be doing the red. I'll probably come in tomorrow and paint more. So, what color is his butt? I don't know. He's got an armor-plated butt. So,
Rust.
It's a man who knows the priorities.
yeah, exactly. Like, not a second time.
That man has clearly taught in that universe's version of Japan.
Whoa! Oh, the stoles. They're called stoles.
Oh. Okay, well,
Okay.
with that, I'm going to call that an end to this episode of Tinker Tailor Solder Fry. Thank you so much for joining me, Cam, once again.
Oh, thank you very much for having me on. It was a pleasure to be
It's
here.
been a wonderful journey. And thank you all for watching. Those of you who choose to support us via patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or those of you who choose to support us as Twitch subscribers, who we will get to in a moment, thank you both for your support. And thank you to those of you who just choose to watch. We really appreciate you doing that because we enjoy doing this. If you'd like to see more, check us out at loadingreadyrun.com for all the great shows, and all the schedule for our live streaming as well is there.
So, yeah.
So with that,
Well,
we will see you next week.
For sub,
And
Oh,
please
yeah, sub welcomes.
bring the subs. Samurai.
Samurai Tiger 19, brand new subscriber. Thank you very much, Samurai Tiger 19. Welcome to the channel.
The Flanman 5 with the
2-year anniversary.
thank you so much. Darth Whooper for the 5-month subscription. Thank you, Darth.
Arclight Zero with a 4-month resubscription. Thank you very much, Arclight Zero.
Wasser 3000 with the 5-month resubscription. Thank you, Wasser.
Kuroji Zero for 24 months. Happy 2-year anniversary. Thank you very much.
Nubus Magnus with 15 months of resubscription. Thank you for your support.
Thinks too much for 20 months. No such thing. But we're happy.
VM Kid for 9 months. spin up another version.
Sawstruck, 16 months. Thank you very much, Sawstruck.
Kitty Kibitzer with the 19-month resubscription. Always happy to have a good Yiddish name.
Punk Rock Zoologist for 9 months. Thank you very much, Punk Rock Zoologist.
And Meltdown with a 3-month resubscription. Thanks for sticking with it, Meltdown. We appreciate your viewership and support.
Viral Infection, 19 months. You're gonna beat it. Just keep at it.
Long Bad Cutscene with 6 months of resubscriptions. Thank you so much.
Salinas92, brand new subscriber. Thank you very much, Salinas92. Although I believe I've seen them around before.
Setralin, 4 months of subscription. Thank you.
The Moat Man, a returning subscriber.
Subscriber.
Thank you very much, the Moat Man.
Zoralundra, 35 months. Thank
What?
you, Zoralundra.
And that's everyone.
Yep, I
All
think
right.
we're good.
Yeah.
We done good, Cam.
Yeah. All right.
Well done. Ooh, wow.
Ooh,
good
yeah.
sound.
No, sorry. Yeah. Meaty.
We'll see you next time.
Okay.